Welcome back. In this part of the course, and on this side of the tape, we'll be taking releasing a step further. We'll be exploring all three modalities for releasing. And just to review, releasing can be done either by letting go directly, welcoming or allowing whatever you're feeling fully, or diving into the very core of what you're feeling. And we'll explore all three on this tape. Let's start with welcoming. Now, what we mean by welcoming or allowing is just allowing the feelings to be the way they are, without trying to do anything to them, take anything away from them, fix them or change them in any way. When you welcome or allow or embrace the feeling as it is, what happens is the sting goes away. The contraction in your awareness around the feeling starts to let go. And as you let go of that sense of contraction, release happens naturally. You don't even have to try to release. Welcoming or allowing is natural. The more you can get in the habit of allowing or welcoming things or feelings as they arise, the more you'll see that they don't stick to you. They just flow through your awareness, like water flowing through a stream. Or like the ocean welcomes everything in the ocean. It doesn't say, I don't like that kind of seaweed. I don't want that type of fish. Whatever arises within the ocean is all welcomed. So allow your consciousness to be like the ocean. Allow yourself to allow or welcome whatever you're feeling. So let's explore that together. Sit back and focus inside. And just allow your awareness to relax. And if you're holding on anywhere, rather than try to fix it or change it, could you just allow it? Welcome it. Just for now, let it be okay that you may be holding on. And notice, just by doing that, it lessens, it opens, it relaxes. Now allow yourself to focus on the particular item or situation, the particular goal or problem that you chose as your focus for this class. And use that as a touchstone throughout this whole tape. Now see how you feel about that particular situation. See if there's an apathy, a grief, a fear, a lust, an anger, a pride, or maybe even a courageousness, acceptance, or peace. And could you just welcome whatever you're feeling? Could you allow it to be? If you're experiencing any difficulty in welcoming, know that if you want to reject it or move away from it or hold on to it, that can be welcomed as well. If there's some resistance to the welcoming, allow that to be. And give yourself to the allowing, to the welcoming. Focus on that specific situation again, and notice how you feel. And however you feel about it, whether you label it as positive or negative, could you just allow it to be? Could you just welcome it? And again, focus on the specific situation in your life that you're wanting to change or improve. And could you just allow the situation for a moment to be as it is, just for now? Could you welcome it as it is, just for now? Notice that even if you've only been able to allow a little bit, welcome a little bit, you already feel better. Remember, if this is a little difficult for you in the beginning, it's okay. It's something new. And if you're having any judgments or thoughts or evaluations come up about how you're doing, allow them to be as well. Could you just welcome them? And just focus on however you feel in this moment, positive or negative. And could you just welcome it? Allow it to be as it is. And could you just relax into that sense of allowing things to be as they are, of welcoming things as they are? We sometimes get confused and think strength and power comes from rigidity. But as they know in the martial arts, if you just allow yourself to flow with life as it is, you have much more strength and power. So in your life, allow yourself to start experimenting with allowing things to be as they are, allowing your feelings and thoughts to be as they are, welcoming them. As you experiment with this in life, you'll see that this alone has the power to start to dramatically shift both the way you perceive and feel life and the stucknesses that are in your life as well. Now let's go a little further with the releasing. While allowing yourself to maintain that sense of openness, of welcoming, let's look at that situation or another situation that you still have some feelings about. If in this moment you feel relatively quiet about that particular thing that we worked on earlier, look at the other item that you want to focus on in this course. And just allow yourself to feel how you feel in this moment. Now I'm going to ask you a series of questions. And these questions themselves are merely pointers towards the experience of letting go. As best you can, listen with your heart, not your head. And respond with your heart, not your head. If your head gets in the way, just allow that to be. And also, when the questions are asked of you, notice that yes or no are both acceptable answers. And you'll be able to use these questions on your own once you get used to them in your life to facilitate your own releasing. So just allow yourself to feel however you're feeling in this moment. Now, could you let it go? Just could you? Would you? when. Now again, allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling in this moment. Welcome the feeling. And then could you let it go? Would you? When? Focus on that situation again and notice how you're already starting to feel differently about it. But there still may be some limiting feeling about that particular situation. If there is, could you just allow it to be? And then could you let it go? Just could you? Would you? When? And if you remember from the last tape, letting go is just a choice. And it's as easy to do as it was to drop that object, that pen or that pencil. If you notice you're having a little difficulty, just let it be. It will pass, and this will get easier and easier to do as you just stay focused on it. Now again, allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling in this moment. And if you'd like to, you can check to see if it's an apathy, a grief, a fear, a lust, or an anger, or a pride, or even a courageousness, acceptance, or peace. And by the way, it's okay to let go of the good feelings. You'll notice that if you let go of a good feeling, it gets even better. The reason for that is our finite sense of who we are is tied up in our limiting emotions like apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, and pride. They're finite, even if they seem overwhelming at times. Whereas our courageousness, acceptance, and peace has no limits. So the more you let go of courageousness, acceptance, and peace, the deeper it gets. So let yourself feel what you're feeling in this moment. And then could you let it go? Would you? When? Let's take one more look inside and just focus on whatever you're feeling in this moment. Focus on your now feeling. And could you just allow it to be? And then could you allow it to release? Could you let it go? Would you? When? Now allow yourself to experiment with those simple questions in your life. And notice how powerful they can be, even though they're incredibly simple. Don't let their simplicity fool you. They have the power to totally change your experience of life. In fact, it's interesting. As people learn releasing, the thing they have the most difficulty with in the beginning is often just the acceptance of how easy and straightforward it can be. Now let's experiment a little bit with diving in so you can get a sense of that as well. And if you have any difficulty with diving in fact, if there's any one of these three that you don't relate to, just use the other two. In fact, if you can't relate to two of them, just use one. Any one of the three ways of releasing that we're going over in this tape is incredibly powerful in and of itself. So now think of another situation, a person, place, or thing, a long-standing problem, or something recent that happened that you still have a feeling about. And could you welcome that feeling? Let it be here now. And then could you allow yourself to relax into it? Dive into the very core. If you're more feeling-oriented, just feel what's at the core. If you're more visual, you might picture what's at the core. And if you lead more with your sense of hearing, just listen to what's at the very heart or core of that feeling. And then could you allow yourself to go even deeper? And deeper still. Find the place inside where the feeling arises from. Beyond the story, beyond the thoughts, beyond the pictures. There's something deeper than that. And could you allow yourself to go in awareness to the very heart or core of that feeling? And then deeper still. And then just a touch deeper. And if there's still any feeling left in this moment, could you just let it go? Could you allow it to be released? Would you? When? Allow yourself to review this tape as often as possible. The more you review it, the more you'll get out of it. Each time you listen to it, you'll see that you can let go even easier. And be easy on yourself. Remember, this is new. And especially if you have a tendency to lead with your mind, there could be a little bit of difficulty in the beginning. But I promise you, if you're persistent, that too will pass. And even more importantly, experiment with these three ways of letting go in your life. The more you apply what you're learning on these tapes in life, the more you'll get out of them. The whole point of these tapes is to enable you to have your ability to let go, your ability to release, totally natural and at your beck and call in life. And as you work with these tapes, I'm certain that will happen. Notice how much better you feel right now than you did just a few moments before starting this tape. And know it gets much better than this. Lester used to ask himself over and over again, could it get any better? And when he did ask himself that question, it always did. So experiment with that for yourself. Find out how high is up.